Guys, new football season is here. You guys are just getting ready to actually put the pads on today for the first time. Talk a little bit about what are you guys feeling as a senior, Nolan? This is kind of your last hurrah. What are you feeling? Nervous, anxious, excited? All the above?
Definitely excited. Oh yeah, I'm ready to be back out here with the boys and hitting each other, getting a little physical. A little nervous. Yeah, we're a little low on numbers, but we got a good group of kids coming up. Work hard every day, getting at it.
Loudon, talk a little bit about what's been the focus the first few days of practice when you guys haven't had a lot of contact.
Yeah, so actually just putting on the pads today, haven't had a lot of contact like you said. Really just working on getting technique right, getting it down before we do actually start hitting on each other. There's just a lot to be said for the coaching staff and getting us ready and prepared for where we need to be tonight ultimately, and just start getting after it.
I gotcha. You guys still got a little ways before you start and get your season underway. So what are some big key areas you feel like you got to shore up right now, Loudon?
Honestly, we gotta get better all over. Obviously, I think we have to really focus on defense. We have to be an aggressive team. We have to be the aggressor and just get after it. Kind of have an I will attitude where you might feel like taking a play off, but with as little depth as we have, you just have to tell yourself you're going to do it and get after it. So defensively, I think we have to get that shorn up and just be aggressive.
Nolan, it's been a few seasons now in 9-man football in the state. How do you describe it as a guy who goes through it?
Real football.
Yeah. Okay. As opposed to 6-man?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot better, you know. Yeah.
What's it like in terms of just maybe having 2 less guys on the field versus, you know, maybe even thinking back to the old 6-man days not too long ago?
It's a lot more physical, I'd say.
Okay.
A lot more technical too. There's a lot more things you gotta take into account, but I'd say it's a lot more fun.
Okay, all right. What was there an adjustment for you from middle school to high school?
No? I'm actually kind of glad I got right into it my freshman year, just just fresh.
Okay.
Just something new instead of just maybe starting sophomore year. I'm kind of glad I started my freshman year. Just kind of fresh.
Loudon, you were counted on a lot last year as a sophomore. I just kind of think back and remember some of the stats and things that I saw from games. What was that like, you know, as a sophomore being counted on a lot?
I think, you know, Coach says it all the time, pressure is a privilege. I think knowing that, just going out there and being able to get after it, I've never used age as a restriction or as an excuse for me to not perform and try to do as good as everybody else. I think I fit in really well with the guys that we had last year in the personnel, and with these guys this year too. And I think the chemistry that we have and the way we can all get after it together, I think helped me excel a lot last year, and I think will this year too.
Nolan, talk about you guys are in a tough league in this 1A 9-man East. You got the defending state champs, you got several other good teams, including you know, some rivals down the road in Southeast. What do you expect competition-wise in the 1A 9-man East this year?
Big. You know, it'll be tough. We'll really have to put our foot in the ground and stay mentally tough here. It's gonna be tough. We want to get a few wins in there.
How do you utilize maybe your speed and quickness to your advantage when you're undersized?
A little smaller.
Kind of duck under the blocks or something?
I lower my shoulder a little bit lower than other kids, but yeah.
How would you guys describe playing for Coach Gifford and the staff?
Oh man, I think the atmosphere is always just super electric. We're always upper paced. He's actually my coach for wrestling and track, so I don't really get a break from him. But and even in the classroom, he's a teacher, so he's always super hyped up. He just has his sleeves rolled up and he's ready to go to work each and every day. I think there's really something to be said for that, transferring into our teams, the way we play as well. And I think the other 2 guys we got, Coach Baker and Coach Smock, they actually just came onto the staff this year, but I think they have a lot of good to offer. Offensively, Smock has a super great mind, and defensively, Baker is working on getting us exactly where we need to be, dialed in position. So I think that's a super great coaching staff, and it's just a really great atmosphere all around.
Gotcha. What are a couple things you feel like you got to get accomplished to get you ready for game 1, Nolan?
I think tackling for him.
Okay.
You know, we got to be able to break down and keep moving our feet through the tackle. Holding our blocks, especially if they're bigger. bigger men, but also a little bit younger. They're a little younger. Oh yeah, those are the big things.
What game are you guys looking forward to the most this year?
Oh man, I'm looking to go down and play Pine Bluffs. I think we've always had kind of scrappy games with them there in the beginning of the games. I'm looking to take them to the 4th this year, see what we can do. Win or lose, we're going to go down there, pads popping, and it's going to be a fun one for sure.
What about you, Nolan? Same game?
Yep.
Okay, all right. What's the most fun about bus trips that you guys go on around the state?
Oh, I mean, being 9-man, we got to travel, especially in the postseason. I think we all just have a super good bond as teammates, and it's just always a good atmosphere on the buses for me. So
it's just too long. Is that the negative part of it sometimes? Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite guy's place to stop and eat if you get a chance? Or maybe there's been a special one in the last year or two.
We like to stop up in Casper Hat 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
We occasionally go up there, but
that's about as much as we eat out. So.
I gotcha. One thing you're looking forward to the most your senior season, Nolan?
Probably giving these boys a role model to leave a little bit of a legacy behind, maybe when I'm gone.
Yeah.
So.
What about for your junior year, Loudon?
Oh man, kind of going into it, I mean, there's a mix of no expectations, but also having high expectations of myself and what I can do. I think, like he said, just being good role models for these guys and seeing what they can do on down the road, but really just going out and playing good hard football. So,
well, guys, thanks so much for taking some time, and I appreciate it. Good luck this season.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Coach, year 3 for you, and I know that it looks like you kind of got some low numbers, but what are your thoughts here as you're just kind of getting underway with practice? And today's actually the first day you guys got in pads.
Yeah, our numbers are low. It's just in small schools, sometimes you have to ride those waves, and right now we're in one of those valleys. Look forward, we have a 8th grade, 7th grade class coming up, so I think our numbers are going to rebound, but that's just one of those things in a smaller school you kind of have to battle, and that's where we're at. But I actually like where we're at. We've got a good nucleus of guys that are out on the field. We have good skill positions. Some of our young guys on the line of scrimmage have shown us a lot already, and obviously you don't really learn a whole lot till the pads come on. So we're kind of getting our first looks today.
What has been kind of the emphasis early on with this group?
Yeah, being with low numbers, we need everybody to be able to do their job, and there's some things that we're going to have to ask of them that in other years maybe we wouldn't need to. Okay. So the theme this year has really been about perfect effort. The guys, everything we're doing, the effort has got to be perfect. And if it's not there, we're going to miss out on being able to accomplish some of the things just because of our situation with our numbers and the situation we're in. So perfect effort is really what we're looking for the whole year.
You got a couple different coaches on the staff with you this year. What do they kind of bring to the table, you think?
A lot of experience, actually. Tim Smock is our offensive coordinator. He comes in from Colorado, and he's coached football, been on state championship teams from there. So he brings in a lot of experience and just knowledge. For a young guy like me, it's awesome to have Neil Baker's our other assistant, coached football for many years as well. It's just nice to have, as a young guy, have some coaches that have that kind of experience that they can bounce ideas off me and share some of the things that have worked for them in the past, and it's a good group. I'm very blessed.
Talked about the low numbers. You do have a couple guys that kind of spearhead you with Nolan Spears and Loudon Bremer. What's it like to have those two guys back and kind of understand what your expectations are and lead this team?
Yeah, we're fortunate to have those two. They are leadership is by far, that's the first word that comes to mind when you talk about those two. Leadership, enthusiasm. They bring that, and when they're around, the culture of our team is different. You can just tell. Okay. When those two are around, they talk. The rest of the guys listen, and they're really good about bringing everybody together, and so that helps us become a team even with our low numbers, and that's kind of what we need in order to be able to accomplish some of the goals that we want for this year.
Guys talked about the fact that maybe you're not the biggest team in 9-man, numbers-wise or just size-wise. Yep. How do you use maybe speed and quickness to your advantage since you don't maybe have the size?
Yeah, they're exactly right. We are going to be one of the smallest teams, both in numbers and size this year for sure. Like I said, we do have a lot of skill players, some really good athletes. Getting them on the perimeter, getting them on the edge is what we're going to have to do. Give our athletes space, and we have an opportunity to be successful.
What do you feel like you need to accomplish in the next couple of weeks to get you ready for game one?
Really, we gotta go through a couple more days of evaluation with some of our younger kids, especially at the line of scrimmage. We're really young there, just to see what we've got and where we need to go. My hope is by the time in 2 weeks, by the time we start week one, we're firing on all cylinders, and a lot of that takes place in being sure of ourselves, being able to go full speed when it matters, not second guessing. That's kind of what I'm looking for this first couple weeks.
What do you think the competition is going to be like in 1A 9-man, not only around the state, but just in your conference, which is pretty tough when you talk about the likes of Pine Bluffs, defending champs. They've been in the title game the last 2 years. Southeast won it a few years ago. So what are your thoughts on 9-man?
Yeah, the East Conference it's interesting, actually. Pine is right now kind of above the rest of the field, it feels like. I think maybe they lost a big senior class, but man, their numbers are good. They always have good depth. They're well coached. But I think maybe the rest of the field can maybe catch up to them a little bit. I think you're going to see a lot of parity maybe in those 2, 3, 4, 5 spots this year in the East Conference. There's a lot of teams that I think any given Friday night have a chance to beat each other, so that's going to be fun. Every game's going to really matter and really mean something. And then on the west side, Big Piney and Wind River are the two that really bring back some experience and some talent. So I mean, they're the two on the west side that you're really looking at like they can probably make some noise.
Lastly, you got some early season goals. Obviously, I think these guys probably set some long-term things. You want to make the playoffs, things like that. But early to kind of maybe get you in the right direction, Brandon?
Yeah, mistake-free. Okay. For us, being as small as we are and young at the line of scrimmage, the fewer mistakes we have, the better off we're going to be able to put drives together and score points, knowing that we've got to play on both sides of the ball and in every phase of the game. Mm-hmm. Every opportunity we have to touch the ball, we've got to score, we've got to tackle well. So limiting the big mistakes, and if we can do that in the first 3-4 weeks, we have an opportunity to jump out to a good record and kind of get ourselves rolling when it comes down to those late conference games.
Brandon, thank you so much for your time. Wish you best of luck this season.
I appreciate it. Thank you.